What's up, everyone? Hope everyone is doing amazing today. So here today, we're with one of my students, Corey, inside of Morales Ecom Brothers, and I want him to speak about his journey, how he started, how everything is going on. And this student was incredible and still is incredible because he asked a lot of questions. A lot of people, when they come inside of a mentorship, they are motivated the first week and they move on and they don't want to continue because it's all about consistency. And if you're not consistent in one side of your life, you won't be consistent in another side of your life. And he was consistent. I was happy that he asked me question, and he asked me even question that took me some time to think about it because he was so deep into those questions and always knew it and always knew it. And that's how you grow. That's how you become a person. But at the same time, his journey was incredible, and I want him to speak about his journey. So yeah, go for it.
Absolutely. So I'll say this here. Um, you see many people share their journey, and some people say, I've made 1 million or I've made 100,000. And I've been in that place for such a long time where I was like, why is it so easy for those guys? And I am actually not getting a break. But it's all about like finding a strategy. And I'm so happy that I found Morales Ecom because I did not have a strategy. And what that actually meant for me was every time I'm to test or try to sell do drop shipping, I would lose so much money. I'm afraid, I'm ashamed to say this, but there's one product that I got literally like 5 sales, and I've spent over like $1,500 trying to scale this product because it, for good reasons and for bad reasons. One of the good reasons is that I'm thinking it's working for this competitor. Why is it not working for me? And I'm thinking that just keep going, keep going. But the second reason that I wasted that money was because I did not had a functional strategy, a strategy that I just know that these are the steps, that the path that was crafted by someone who walked this journey. And Gilberto, you've walked this journey so many times with so many of your students to the point where you could so efficiently and effectively copy and paste all of your experience into your mentorship and deliver it to me. So I would say that I was so grateful that I found you. And when I started your mentorship, like I wanted to get it right this time. I was done with messing around. I was done with, you know, going halfway in because I've started things and never finished it in the past. I've, you know, tell myself initially that, this is gonna be it, but I lose that gas power, that horsepower that, is keeping me going, and I become inconsistent. I stop. I got into my feelings and emotions, and just never continued. However, like this time in my mind, I decided that this is it, and I am for the new year. Sorry, I'm gonna segue here, but for the new year, I set a goal: follow Gilberto's strategy. The strategy, it wasn't become a millionaire. It wasn't to, have all of the results. My goal was to actually become the type of person that could achieve the type of success that Gilberto teaches. And I follow that strategy. We're now in March. It's now March break here, and what a wonderful time to be finally seeing some success after going through all of that training. And it's been so amazing. But if I'm to boil it down into just a few points, I would say find a working strategy. That everything depends upon that. If you think that you're gonna go into drop shipping and stumble, mumble, fumble, and figure it out, that is possible. However, I hope you have a massive budget to blow out in your process, because I I give me 50,000, and I'm sure by stumbling, mumbling, and fumbling, I would not figure out drop shipping. This thing is a process, and it I've tried for a long time to figure it out on my own, and it did not happen. So first things first is find a working strategy, and Gilberto, you were able to provide that for me through the mentorship program. The second thing is sticking to that strategy. Gilberto mentioned that so many times in his videos, and I watched them, and it was really cool because I had Gilberto as a mentor weekly on my weekly mentorship calls, but I have him on his YouTube channel. He's actually teaching me the strategy there, so I'm like double dipping mentorship and YouTube. So you spoke so much about being consistent in drop shipping, and that's part of what leads to success. And I took that and wanted to let it live and breathe in everything that I do. So TikTok, for example, is an app I never used. I thought it was stupid. I thought like it's just a bunch of kids dancing. And it was so hard for me to start using TikTok to do product research. And now I'm using TikTok. I am looking at, this guy actually used a controversial hook to actually get his audience. I'm using it, I'm learning it. So I'm paying the price to become consistent in doing whatever it takes. And so the first thing, finding a good strategy, becoming consistent. And the third thing is that, trusting and knowing that it will work, right? Having that faith that it will work. And what having that faith that it will work allows you to do is to do the stuff you need to do, even though you don't feel like it. It's, work a bit harder to work an extra hour, or you put a few things on your to-do list. You just get that done, even though you're a bit tired, even though if it means sacrificing sleep. Because honestly, financially, I would prefer to sacrifice and just have 3 hours of sleep so that I can actually be the type of man that provides for my family.
Absolutely.
So it's worth it for me to actually do what it takes. And having that faith allows you to believe that it will happen. And coming to that faith didn't just come from my own ability. It came from me selecting Gilberto as my coach and my mentor. So yeah, that sums up in a nutshell what my journey has been like in terms of drop shipping, and finally seeing my hard work pay off with sales to my phone through my Shopify store. It's awesome.
And at the same time, at the end of the day, we're all human, and we as human, we ask ourselves a lot of questions, and we have a lot of doubt when it comes down to drop shipping. And one thing that I try to do differently than most people is really explain the why of everything. You will tell me, oh, this happens. What do I need to do? I will tell you this because of this. So a lot of people, they stop drop shipping because they just don't know the why. They just follow one strategy and they're like, okay, but I don't see result. But if you understand at the core what the business is and you understand the why, oh, you need to do this because maybe it works for somebody else, but it doesn't work for you. You want to control what you can control. If you cannot control it, then you move on, you go to the next step, you do the next thing. Sometimes it's hard when you don't understand, but that's what I believe that I'm trying to teach other people, is understand the business. Because when you understand the business, this is when everything blew out. When I understand everything, I was like, oh, drop shipping works like this. So it's just a matter of time before I find a winning product. But most people, they get fed up with only the $1 million product that they see on the screen, and they think it's so easy. And at the same time, it's not. You need to follow a strategy, understand how to work with different kind of products. Like I told you, some products are heavy winners, some products are medium winners, and you need to deal with all those kind of products. The first problem that people encounter is they can't find a winning product. That's one. The second one is they try to scale too aggressively all the product because they all think it's $1 million product, and they end up not not making profit. And all those things, you need to learn them and need to understand them. And when you do, it's when you start making real money. And you basically told me, it's funny because you told me, I'm going to follow your strategy to the T. You told me I'm going to follow it to the T. And and that's exactly what you're doing. And that's what I love about your passion and what you're doing. And it's incredible. And at the end of the day, we're human and we make mistakes. I remember, like I told you about the link. Remember, I told you, oh, don't paste the link, don't paste, and that's the thing that you keep pasting the wrong link. And I told you, So we are human. We constantly learn, but you wouldn't have figured it out if you weren't, let's say, looking for different things, asking me questions. You wouldn't have figured out. A lot of people, what they do it, they stop asking question, they make a few mistakes that are critical because that mistake, it's a little mistake, but it's critical. Think if you would have tested dozens of products, thousands of products like this, oh, drop shipping doesn't work. No, it's because you made a minor mistake that destroyed everything. So that's why sometimes drop shipping, you need to know what you do and ask question and always try to verify your work multiple times to make sure that it is okay.
100%. There's a couple of things that came to mind because I've made mistakes even during the mentorship that I was actually ashamed because I'm like, how could I F up this bad? Right. However, I had that humility to actually, share, hey, this is a mistake that I made. And I then got to understand the why and all of the necessary details that I know to never, ever make that mistake again. So it comes to understanding that we're human. And of course, I'm having humility to admit that, hey, this here I mess up. What happened here, whatever the deal may be.
Absolutely.
The other thing is that, interestingly, man, Gilberto, you provide so much for us in as far as mentorship go. You made a video and posted it on YouTube about becoming a good mentee. So you're the mentor and I'm your mentee. You actually created a video about how to be a good student. And part of that is it come with questions. Set aside your questions to the end of the call. Take notes during the process. Like, you deliver everything on a platter, and like it's up to me or anyone else who might be observing like your content. Do you actually utilize these golden nuggets that Gilberto is delivering, and really use it towards you becoming the best person that you can be in drop shipping? Or do you just look at it as, oh, it's just another YouTube video? That was not the case for me. I see your videos on YouTube as mentorship, and I see also the calls that we have at mentorship. So understanding that you are teaching me through YouTube, and I've gotten so much from that as well.
Amazing, brother. So seriously, thank you for making this video for me. I know that you want to succeed. I know that you want to do it for your family. And I think that's your purpose. And that's why you're going to get results, because that little girl right here is your purpose. Your other boy also is your purpose. And yeah, I really think you're going to succeed. I really think you're going to succeed because you're not doing it for you. And a lot of people, they don't know their why. And you have your why. And that's what I'm happy. I'm happy because and that's why I'm going to even after the mentorship, I'll tell people I'm going to still answer your question. Even if you have doubts, even if you have anything, I'm going to still be here for you, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And sometimes it's a lonely business. And I understand the struggle of people, and I wish I had something like this when I started. So thank you for everything.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here recording this video with you, and even more big of a pleasure actually working with you and having you as my mentor. So thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Take care and stay consistent.
You well.
You're going to succeed.
You will be hearing from me, no doubt.
Hello.
Tell my mentor bye bye.